Let's take it from level 1, being mild pain, to 10, being unbearable agony. Level 1. Ever had a paper cut? It's got to be one of the most ridiculous injuries ever, and it also leaves you with a really irritating pain that might last for a few hours. It's very mild, and you'll probably forget about it if you don't think about it and just get on with stuff. Another example of pain at this level is when you pull out a nose hair. The pain is sharper than a paper cut, but only lasts the amount of time it takes you to screw your face up for a few seconds. Falling over and grazing your knee is also level 1, which is probably why young kids don't care much about it and always seem to have scrapes on their knees and holes in their pants. Level 1 is easy to bear and more annoying than anything. It's the mildest of mild pain, and it almost doesn't really hurt. Level 2. If pulling a hair from your nose is a level 1, then pulling a bandage off a hairy part of your body is a level 2. It hurts more because there's more hair, and the same goes for having parts of your body waxed. If you pull a large rubber band until it breaks and snaps back onto your finger, that's a level 2 event. And so is having sunscreen mixed with sweat dripping into your eyes. Stings, right? And you might look like you're crying, but most people won't actually cry from just level 2. But wait another level or two and your eyes might start watering a little. This kind of pain is annoying and hurts a bit, but it's not too serious, and most people won't be too bothered by it. Level 3. Here's one we've all done, and if it doesn't make you cry, it will definitely make you curse. Can you guess what it is? Stubbing your toe. Why do we even have little toes when the only thing they seem good for is causing unreasonable amounts of pain, usually when we're in a hurry? You want to try some other level 3 pain to see how you go? Okay. Next time you cut your finger chopping vegetables, instead of running it under water and putting on a band-aid, why don't you try adding salt? There's a reason why rubbing salt into a wound is a well-known expression. Or here's a fun one. You know those electric fly swatters that look like tennis rackets? Well, instead of using it to kill mosquitoes, try jabbing your finger into it. You feel that? Yep, that's a quick burst of level 3. This is the kind of pain that is noticeable and distracting. It's still mild, but it's harder to ignore, and you'll always be aware that it's there, but it won't affect your ability to go about your daily life. Level 4. If there's one thing that's worse than stubbing your toe, it's bashing your shin, and this is the kind of miserable pain that might actually make you cry. It's one of the only places on the body where the bone has such minimal protection, and it's also right where it can get bashed easily. You don't want to try that? Well then, how about this? Find a stinging nettle and scrunch it up in your hand. It's a really dumb idea, yes, but it's a quick and easy way to experience level 4 pain. And then you'll spend the rest of the day wishing you hadn't as your palm continues to burn and throb to remind you what a stupid idea that was. Or maybe you don't need to go looking for it because it may just come to you in the form of a bee sting. These are usually easy to avoid because you have to mess with bees to deserve one. Although accidents sometimes happen. But, as we'll see, bee stings are nothing compared to some of the other punishments nature can dish out. Level 4 is where mild pain ends and moderate pain begins. It's much more difficult to ignore, but if you really have to get on with something important, you'll be able to put the pain aside and do what needs to be done, even if you can't forget the pain is there altogether. Level 5. Right, we're getting into it now, and things are starting to get more unpleasant. But we're still only halfway, so try not to tap out just yet. Level 5 pain can be experienced if you get really bad sunburns. Not just where your skin gets a bit pink, but where you go bright lobster red over a large area, with bonus points if your skin starts to blister. And the lighter your skin, the worse it will be, so sun cream. Seriously. You can also experience a similar level of pain from getting a tattoo, especially in a bony area like your ribs. And tarantulas can take you there too, because if you get bitten by one, you'll definitely know about it. And the nightmarish element of having one of these monsters with beady eyes sinking its fangs into your flesh makes it feel even worse. At a level 5, the pain is really starting to affect you. You can't really ignore it for more than a few minutes, although you might be able to attempt to work or socialize with this kind of pain if it's absolutely necessary. But let's put it like this. If you have level 5 pain, you won't be enjoying any parties you go to because you'll spend the whole time thinking about how much it hurts. Level 6. Some things in life are hard to avoid, and unfortunately, most of us experience them at some point. In this category, you can put bad toothaches and bad ear infections, and when they strike, all you can think about is finding a doctor or a dentist to save you from this abject misery. Level 6 pain is the top end of what's considered moderate, and if you're suffering from this kind of pain, you can forget about working or socializing because you won't really be in any fit state to think about anything else because you'll only be focused on how sorry you're feeling for yourself. If you can't wait for a toothache or a bad ear infection to take you to level 6, you can also go there by slamming a car door on your fingers. Nature can also take you there by way of a jellyfish sting. Different jellies deliver different levels of pain, of course, so if you're looking to experience level 6, make sure the one that gets you is a Portuguese man-o'-war. Level 7. Say goodbye to moderate and say hi to severe pain because at level 7, we're starting to come to the kinds of things you hope never to experience in your life, even once. One fairly horrendous injury is a ruptured Achilles tendon. You'll know when it happens because you may hear a snapping sound from the back of your leg, which is scary enough, and this will instantly be followed by almost debilitating pain. You can forget about walking for the rest of the day, or pretty much the next 4 weeks. Similar pain can also be experienced from severe appendicitis, and if you start experiencing this, you'll need to go to a hospital or get someone to take you to a hospital ASAP, because if your appendix bursts, your life will be in serious danger. With this kind of pain, you can forget about performing daily activities or basically functioning as a normal human, because by now, we're talking about pain that is all-consuming. But don't go yet because there are still several more levels to cover. Level 8. What's worse than appendicitis or a ruptured Achilles tendon? Kidney stones. People who have experienced this report it to be absolutely unbearable, and no wonder. Sometimes, hard minerals and salt deposits form in your kidneys, and they don't pass out naturally in your urine. They start to grow. They can be as small as a grain of sand, but they can grow to several millimeters in diameter and have jagged edges, and these are the ones that really hurt. Eventually, after forming, the stone will try to make its way out through your ureter, a tube that's only meant to carry liquid. The ureter is extremely sensitive, so when a large, jagged ball of minerals and salt starts passing through, you can expect to suffer horribly. An interesting comparison is the fact that this kind of pain is similar to the experience of childbirth, something else that comes in at around the 7 to 9 range, depending on how it goes. In a way, it's similar too because both involve a large object passing through a sensitive passage that's clearly too small for that object to get through. Although some women with experience of both say that kidney stones are worse. On the same level are things like being impaled or being scalped. So it just gives you an idea of what your mother went through to bring you into this world. It doesn't really need to be said, but at level 8, you can forget about doing almost anything else because at this point, you'll hardly be able to even talk to anyone because the pain is so bad. Level 9. Let's get back to nature because there are some animals out there that have some serious defenses. One of them is the desert centipede, and if one of these bites you, you'll be on the ground writhing in agony within seconds. These evil creatures can grow up to 7 inches in length, and their venom can cause muscle damage, tissue necrosis, and a whole world of pain. Central and South America's bullet ant is notorious for having the most incredibly painful sting in the insect world, but the desert centipede is on about the same level while lasting much longer. The worst of the pain won't be over for about 2 hours, and even after that, it will still seriously hurt for another 12 hours until it finally wears off. A more bizarre one, though, is the sting from the duck-billed platypus. Who even knew they had a sting, right? But they do, and it's a seriously painful one. So if you ever come across one of these weird egg-laying mammals, don't get too close because you might end up full of regret. They deliver their venom from spurs on their back ankles, and if one gets you, the level 9 pain it delivers can last for weeks or even months. With level 9 pain, you won't be able to talk or do anything other than cry or moan uncontrollably. But we're still not quite at the top level, and there's still more to come. Level 10. So let's do it, shall we? What's level 10? The first one you might not have heard of, and it doesn't sound like much. But just pray you never experience it because it's nothing short of horrific. Its scientific name is trigeminal neuralgia, but its nickname is more deceptive. It's sometimes known as suicide disease because sufferers simply can't bear the pain. So what is it? Well, the trigeminal nerve carries signals from your face to your brain. It's extremely sensitive, and when it malfunctions, people can end up suffering from extreme chronic pain that can be set off by even the lightest of touches. Sufferers report that it feels like being stabbed in the face with a hot knife, and it can happen hundreds of times a day from simple things like brushing your teeth, smiling, or even just the wind. On the same level as having a limb amputated without anesthetic, and it's horrifying that that's how it used to be done. In terms of animals, the poison from a Gila monster bite tops the list, and even bullet ant or desert centipede bites are preferable to this unspeakable pain. With level 10 pain, you'll need help because the suffering here is utterly debilitating and may make you delirious. This is the kind of pain you wouldn't wish on anyone, and fortunately, most of us will never have to experience it. Which one of these have you experienced? And what do you think your limit would be? We're sure you've got lots to say on this topic, so why not leave a comment below to let everyone know what you think? And if you enjoyed this video, why not drop us a like and follow before you go? Stay safe and try not to get bitten by a Gila monster.